Hey there, fellow bookworms and curious minds. Today we're tackling a topic that's often shrouded in glittering spectacle and national pride: the economic realities of hosting mega events like the Olympics and the World Cup. Our guide for this sobering journey is Andrew Zimbalist's insightful book, Circus Maximus: The Economic Gamble Behind Hosting the Olympics and the World Cup. Prepare to be disillusioned as we delve into the world of billion-dollar budgets, inflated promises, and the often disappointing economic outcomes that follow these massive sporting events. The Olympic dream, a costly illusion. For decades, cities around the world have been clamoring to host the Olympics, seduced by the promise of economic prosperity, job creation, and a lasting legacy of urban renewal. But as Zimbalist meticulously demonstrates, the reality is often far different. Using a wealth of data and economic analysis, Zimbalist punctures the rosy narratives spun by Olympic boosters, revealing a pattern of inflated economic projections, hidden costs, and a consistent failure to deliver on the promised benefit. Exposing the myth of economic impact, Zimbalist begins by dissecting the promotional studies that underpin the bid process, exposing the flawed methodologies and unrealistic assumptions that lead to inflated projections of economic benefits. He argues that these studies often rely on ex ante analysis, relying on predictions and theoretical models rather than real world data. He also highlights the problematic use of multipliers, which overestimate the ripple effect of spending related to the games, and the failure to account for the substitution effect, where spending on the Olympics simply displaces spending that would have occurred elsewhere in the local economy. Furthermore, Zimbalist points out that many of the benefits touted by Olympic proponents, such as increased tourism, are often temporary and fail to materialize in the long run. He argues that the focus on short-term gains often distracts from the long-term costs, which can saddle host cities with debt and underutilized infrastructure. The true costs of hosting, beyond the bottom line. Zimbalist goes beyond the traditional focus on direct costs, such as stadium construction, to highlight the hidden expenses associated with hosting the games. These include bidding costs. The competition to secure the games is fierce, with cities spending millions on consultants, feasibility studies, marketing campaigns, and lavish entertainment for IOC members. Operating costs. Running the games for 17 to 34 days requires massive expenditures on security, transportation, logistics, marketing, and administration. Infrastructure costs. Upgrading transportation networks, building new venues, and improving public services can cost billions, often requiring significant public investment. Business disruption. Construction and security measures can disrupt local businesses, leading to lost revenue and job losses. Opportunity costs. The time, energy, and resources dedicated to hosting the games could have been invested in other, perhaps more beneficial projects. Social costs. The Olympics can displace communities, exacerbate inequality, and contribute to environmental degradation. Case studies: Barcelona, Sochi, Rio, and London. Zimbalist strengthens his arguments with compelling case studies of recent Olympic Games and World Cups, highlighting the specific challenges and outcomes for each host city. He contrasts the relative success of Barcelona in 1992, where the Games were integrated into a pre-existing urban development plan and relied heavily on private funding, with the disastrous outcome in Sochi 2014, where corruption caused overruns and political repression overshadowed the event. He also examines the recent experiences of Rio de Janeiro 2016 and London 2012, highlighting the challenges of hosting mega events in an increasingly complex and globalized world where political tensions, economic uncertainty, and social inequality are ever-present factors. The winner's curse and the need for reform. A Zimbalist argues that the current bidding process, with its intense competition and lack of transparency, often leads to a winner's curse, where the host city ends up overbidding and incurring significant financial losses. He believes that the IOC and FIFA hold a disproportionate amount of power, effectively extracting concessions from cities desperate to host the games. He proposes a number of reforms to make the process more equitable and transparent, including limiting the number of bidders. This would reduce competition and prevent cities from overbidding. Encouraging repeat hosting. Cities with existing infrastructure could host the games more cost effectively, sharing revenue more equitably. The IOC and FIFA could distribute a greater percentage of profits to host cities. Increasing transparency, making the bidding process more transparent would help to reduce corruption and ensure that decisions are made in the best interests of the host city. Bread or circuses? A call for reason. Zimbalist concludes with a call for reason, urging cities and nations to carefully weigh the costs and benefits of hosting mega events. He argues that the lure of the Olympic dream, with its promise of glory and economic prosperity, can often blind officials to the harsh realities of hosting. He believes that the time has come for a more rational and sustainable approach to mega event planning, one that prioritizes the needs of local communities, protects the environment, and promotes social justice. In summary, Circus Maximus is an essential read for anyone interested in the real story behind the Olympic Games and the World Cup. It's a powerful critique of the mega event model and a call for a more equitable and sustainable approach to hosting these global sporting spectacles. What are your thoughts on the economic impact of the Olympics and the World Cup? Can these events be hosted responsibly? Let's discuss in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more critical discussions about the world of sports and economics.